talking to my wrestling coach, Paul Reiner, about the problems I was having. And a lot of times those problems were I was going after the single, and they were starting to sprawl. They were starting to make space. I was getting stuck on the bottom. I was getting stuck in the turtle. And since I didn't come from a wrestling background, I didn't have the instincts. I didn't have I wasn't used to fighting through those defenses and kind of chasing the finish. So I got really frustrated. I needed a technique. I needed a very specific solution that wasn't just drive, because that didn't really make sense for me. And I just wasn't really, to be honest, tough enough to just power through a sprawl and start finishing the takedown. So after talking to Paul, he introduced me to what's called a knee slide, or a knee pound. This is a double knee slide where you were pounding both knees in at the same time. And you can start thinking a knee slide is like a second shot. So if Daryl and I were standing, I wouldn't just reach out and grab his leg. I wouldn't just extend myself to go after that takedown. We know that I need to change my levels, shoot in, get deep, get underneath of his hips, and that's where I'm strong. And if we take that 3D Jiu-Jitsu concept of collapsing and controlling the space, if we're turtled up, I don't want to be reaching out either. Even though I don't feel like I'm as weak, this is a really weak position for me. I want to be up underneath of his hips, even though we're collapsed down, even though I'm not standing and shooting in. I still want to be under his hips, nice tight control. So what happens if I'm not? So a lot of times we'll be here. You want to back up to just finish? Perfect. We'll be here, and Daryl's starting to sprawl a little bit, starting to make a little bit of space. And it's tough for me to circle here because he's so far away and I'm weak now. His leg's far away from my body. Now, turtle back up for me, please. I want to be here where I'm tight. Now it's easy for me to circle and start setting the table. And I get nice and deep, get my elbow in position. I want my elbows close to my body. I want to collapse that space as soon as possible. So the double knee slide is going to be like a second penetration, a second shot. It's letting me get in there, get underneath his hips so I can start getting my single leg finish. So I'm here, just making a little bit of space. So I still have my grip, that's important. If this grip was broken, I'm going to look for a different technique, which we'll look at next. So now from here, I can't get in, I can't drive. The tripod up, I'm going to just shove my knees in, try to take my knees to my elbow. Here, now I can circle. Start setting my table. Very stupid, simple technique. Just jumping the knees in, hang on to the leg, a tripod, boom, pound them in, nice and strong. I'll do that a couple times if I need to. If I need to go 2 or 3 times on that, it's fine. But it's like a shot, right? When I'm doing a shot, I'm trying to close the gap relatively quickly, trying to get myself underneath of his hips where I have more power and leverage. It's the same thing whether we're standing, whether we're kneeling. I want to get nice and deep, get that control.